How's it going, everybody? I'm meteorologist Joey Cragness, back with your daily forecast. Today we actually have some severe weather to talk about. Got all hazards possible in the central U.S. today. Mainly, there's going to be two little areas that we're going to be keeping an eye on. An active week ahead, so several rounds of severe weather possible today, tomorrow. Wednesday looks like there could be a chance as well, possibly Thursday too. So we'll be keeping an eye on all of that. And then an update on the Smokehouse Creek fire out in the Texas Panhandle. Looks like activity is beginning to calm down a little bit out there, so the wildland firefighters out there should be able to get a slightly better handle on things over the next coming days. Before we get into the weather, we'll be at the Win the Storm event 2024 at booth 606. That is March 14th through 16th. So next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can use discount code TRACE to get some discounts on your tickets for that event. So come by, say hi, talk to us, and all that stuff. So current conditions right now, watching some storms developing in Wisconsin and Iowa. This is kind of around that risk area, one of those risk areas for today. We'll see those storms increase in intensity over the next several hours. And then the main kind of story for today is going to be down south along the Gulf Coast. Some storms firing off right now in central Louisiana. Those storms are beginning to intensify fairly quickly. There's a decent amount of instability for those storms to work with. So we'll be keeping an eye on all of that. Around the rest of the country, though, temperatures are on the warmer side. In the eastern half of the U.S., we have this nice trough forming in the central and western U.S., firing off all those storms right along the edge of that trough. Some temperatures in the 70s already so far today. Looking at the mid and lower 70s for central Oklahoma, expecting to get pretty close to 80 degrees by this afternoon. Temperatures already, though, getting pretty close to 80 around the DFW metro. They'll be pushing into the mid and lower 80s over the next few hours. Same with San Antonio and Austin. San Marcos already at 80 degrees down there. A few little rain showers as you move farther east into the Houston area. Some of those storms could become a little more intense as the heating continues over the next few hours. Out in the Front Range, some snow for the higher elevations. More seasonable temperatures right now than they've been seeing the past several weeks. Right now, temperatures hovering in the low 40s and mid 30s, looking pretty decent out there. So before we get into the exciting severe weather stuff, this will probably be the last update on the Smokehouse Creek fire until they get that fully contained. So it started February 26th, now up well over 1 million acres, now at 15% containment, up from the 3% that it was at a few days ago. Now they have an expected containment date, which is the 14th. So next Thursday, we'll be looking at for possible full containment of that fire system out there. So this afternoon, storms are expected to first kind of start firing up and really get going down south along the Gulf Coast first. A few of those storms could be fairly strong. It's going to be a very messy storm mode today. Not really any well-defined storms, but there will be some isolated cells that are on the stronger side. Could see some decent-sized hail with these storms as they push into the early evening hours. And then as we head up north, before these storms kind of form into this line, that's when they're going to be posing that the largest hail threat. It's going to become a wind threat as we head into the later part of the evening. maybe a few tornadoes with that as well. But that storm system, that cold front from that low pressure system all the way up in Canada, going to be firing off the storms in the central U.S. Through tomorrow morning. Out in the Pacific Northwest, another wave of rain and snow for them. They just keep getting round after round of rain and snow out there. Good for their drought conditions out there, but they are experiencing some pretty heavy precipitation. So now our hail forecast for today. I have two little bullseye areas for larger hail. Little Rock, Shreveport, Houston, kind of in that main southern bullseye. And then we got Davenport, Iowa, up there in that main northern bullseye up there. Before those storms form into a line, that's when we could see a larger hail threat with these storms. Maybe a tornado threat as well, but wind threat, pretty much the entire swath of the central U.S. there having a reasonable wind threat. Could see up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with some of these storms, with some of the stronger storms. But it's not going to be a day where we get, those 80 to 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts likely out of these storms. But tornado threat, there's two risk areas that we're watching. The northern one, the southern one, with those storms. Any isolated storms that form, there could be the potential for some tornadoes as long as they are surface-based. The problem with the northern risk area is they might be a little more on the elevated side. So if they stay elevated and aren't tapping into that surface moisture, we'll see a dampened risk for tornadoes. But the southern risk area, that's where we'll see probably the larger tornado threat down there, because most of those storms will likely be surface-based. So what we're expecting for today in terms of hail size, probably up to golf ball golf ball sized hailstones. There we go. Might see maybe up to 2-inch in some areas, but golf ball I think is probably the most likely maximum hail size for today. Looking at our instability later on this afternoon, see a big surge of instability along the Gulf Coast with all that moisture streaming in. Less surface-based instability up north like I was talking about before, because most of those storms will likely be elevated, but there is a little bit of surface-based instability. So if some of those storms tap into that surface moisture there, we could see some large hail, tornado, wind threat, all of the above with those northern storms. And then tomorrow afternoon, could see another surge of instability into Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas later on in the afternoon. But most of those storms tomorrow will likely be lingering from this evening and into tomorrow morning. So it's going to be an earlier time frame that we're looking at for the storms tomorrow. And then that instability will kind of die down as we head into Wednesday morning. So this is our potential risk area for tomorrow. Still a lot of details up in the air with that, so I didn't put together a hail, wind, and tornado threat map for tomorrow, but this is the general risk area that we're looking at for the strongest storms tomorrow morning and afternoon with that system. Looking at our long-range, low-resolution model, you see this cold front extending all the way into the Central Plains. Another little shortwave trough down south is what's kicking up these storms right now. All of that rain over off on the west coast. And then Thursday, we could get another wave of severe weather for the Central Plains. This nice low pressure system from Colorado moving off to the east could see some severe storms. Oklahoma, Arkansas, portions of Louisiana, Mississippi could see some strong storms, heavy rain as well. And then that system will continue to track off to the east as we head into the weekend. So looking at our 5-day rain chances, pretty significant rainfall expected for the Gulf Coast over the next 5 days, up to 3 to 5 inches. For some areas out there, 2 to 4 inches for the Central U.S. And then there's that little bullseye from that nice round of precipitation today and tomorrow for the Pacific Northwest. Breaking it down day by day, looking at Monday, or today, we have those two little bullseyes for the risk areas where that heaviest storm activity will likely be located. Stronger precipitation along the Gulf Coast tomorrow. That rain will move off to the east along the East Coast. They'll be getting some decent rain. Thursday, more widespread, weaker rain, maybe an isolated strong thunderstorm or two for Thursday. And then again, that system will shift off to the east and bring some more heavy rain to the Gulf Coast. So it'll be, the Gulf Coast will be seeing several rounds of heavy rain over the next 5 days, bringing them some decent precipitation. Temperature outlook, warmer than average temperatures expected for most of the country. Slightly cooler than average on the west coast with that trough just kind of sitting there and anchoring itself over the next week or so. And then precipitation outlook for that 6 to 10 day period. Heavier precipitation along the east coast and along the west coast, but near average precipitation for the central U.S., maybe slightly drier up north and down south, but should be fairly close to average precipitation over the next 5 days, or between that 6 to 10 day period. If you're interested in learning more about us, go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Or if you're interested in purchasing a plan, go ahead and scan that QR code up above me, or give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. For now, I'm meteorologist Joey Cragness. Thanks for watching.